Okay, so we're going to do a quick rundown on the new Time Rift events in Dragonflight. So we're going to come down to Tearhold Reservoir in the middle here. There is a couple of vendors. We'll go through all the gear you can earn by farming this zone, including mounts, transmogs, some pets. But we'll look at that more later in this video. So what you want to do while you're in Tearhold Reservoir here, you want to go see Sorodormi. Hopefully you've already picked up the weekly quest When Time Needs Mending and Valdraken. So when the event starts, which is every hour on the hour, click Sorodormi here and that'll let you report in for the Time Rift. So you'll see at the top you've now got the Temporal Essence bar up to 7,500. So that will give you boxes of Tempered Reality. There's 3 different levels of that in green, blue and purple, each giving you different levels of paracausal flakes in 50, 75 and 100 respectively. So to start here, you're going to have about a minute and a half to actually just kill as many things in the zone as you can as they come out of these rifts. If you can get to them, great. If you can't, it's still going to go towards building that Temporal Essence bar up. After that minute though, you are going to have something different come up. Sometimes it's a group event, sometimes it's a single. So this one here, we've got a group event. So what you're doing is getting the giant bomb into the time rift. You can see in the distance there, everyone's just got to latch onto it and pull it as close as you can. There will be some mobs that attack while you do that. They're not really going to have too much of an impact though with the amount of characters that are here. Most mobs are just getting melted. So from here we're going to go into the Forgotten Depths, kick the Frozen Heart into the Time Rift. So just fly over, find this guy on top of the ice and kick him into the Time Rift. A little bit more frustrating here because you've got so many players trying to kick him in different directions. From the PTO you can see if there's just a single player, this doesn't take longer than a minute to just kick him over into it. It took us about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes to get him in there. And then again we go back to a minute of just killing mobs around the section, and that's just going to keep building on that Temporal Essence bar. You can see we're up to blue now, so you get that after 2,500. We're going for it. 5,000 will get us that one, and then we will go into the purple. So once we've filled up that bar and finished the last event, when we get to that, we're going to fly into the center of the reservoir. That is where we're going to enter the rift. So the first time rift we're going to go into is Asmorn. Okay, so this, once we complete this, complete the boss in here, that will give us the weekly quest completed. You can see as we go in, Throne of the Lich King, it is Asmorn, so a twist on Frostmourne. Fractal Causality is what's actually changing everything in the timeways, so that will just spawn down into the Lich King. Now, with the amount of HP that the boss actually has in here, you'd still expect a group like this to melt it, but there is a lot of lag going on, so not a lot of damage actually being done. The AoE damage that he does in the area as well will destroy players, so just got to be mindful of everything on the ground. This is the first attempt not actually knowing what the mechanics were here. Nice quick death for the majority of the players in here, myself included. The lag is real in the first couple of days when everyone is jumping into the time rifts, so even if you do get to release your spirit here, you get back into it, you can have a bit of a hard time trying to actually resurrect because so many players are trying to do it at the same time and there's so much already going on in the zone. Be mindful when you're resurrecting, unlike I did, where you're actually coming back to life, because it only takes a couple of seconds before I am dead again. So just be aware when you are in these areas, keep an eye on your map and just around, because there is a couple of these little quest items to pick up. Just some items to take back to Sorodormi, which is going to get you a little bit of extra flakes and rep with Sorodormi. So the other thing, just to remember when you're going into some of these time rifts, there are 2 items you can get, one being Encapsulated Destiny and Greater Encapsulated Destiny. These ones you can activate it before you actually go into a time rift, and that will guarantee that you're going to get a reward from the time rift. So the standard version, you can get anything, even something you have already obtained. If you have the greater version, it is going to be something you haven't obtained yet in a battle pet or mount, so keep an eye out for those ones. As I said earlier, the timeways are open every hour on the hour. You can jump in and take out another Fractured Causality. There is 7 in total, and once you've done that, you will get the Chrono Grenade Connoisseur achievement. In total, there is 8 achievements to be found and completed for the timeways, including all the gear, battle pets, mounts, and collecting all the items for Sorodormi. So last bit is the vendors and the gear. So there is this catch-up vendor here, which will use the dilated time capsules to get 402 veteran gear. So a good way to level up some of those alts that you haven't really touched too much. But there's 8 vendors in total. We'll be able to pick up different gear, transmogs. There's a couple of really good mounts here. The mounts themselves are costing me 3,000 paracausal flakes. Best way to, if you are going to be farming this, is actually do the weekly on every single one of your characters that's eligible, because when you do that weekly, you're going to get 1,000 paracausal flakes. And make sure you open up those boxes of collapsed reality as well. That wraps it up for our guide on the time rifts. Any questions on these, please drop a comment below. Please, if you've liked the video, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you can see more content from us. On that note, we will catch you on the flip side.
Fair skies and strong winds.
Please specify what you need. Concluding transaction.
What is it?